Did you know that 69% of problems in a relationship are unsolvable, according to relationship expert Dr. John Gottman? That's right, more than 2/3 of the issues we face in our partnerships are in fact perpetual. These are the issues that keep resurfacing, no matter how many times you think you've settled them. And often, compromise is seen as the go-to solution, a band-aid to cover these recurring wounds. But is it really? So, if compromise isn't the solution, what is? Let's dive in. We often hear the term compromise, but what does it really mean in the context of a relationship? Let's break it down. Compromise, at its core, is about finding common ground. It's about two parties each giving something up to reach a resolution. In relationships, it's traditionally viewed as the key to resolving conflicts, a necessary ingredient for harmony. Many relationship experts and psychologists champion compromise. They argue that it fosters understanding, promotes empathy, and encourages mutual respect. It's seen as an essential tool for navigating disagreements, a way to ensure that both voices are heard and both needs are met. Yet, it's important to remember that compromise isn't about completely sacrificing your needs or desires for the sake of your partner. It's about balance, about meeting in the middle, about creating a solution that respects both individuals' perspectives. But is compromise always beneficial? The answer might surprise you. Compromise isn't always the knight in shining armor it's made out to be. In fact, it can be quite the villain. Let's delve into the shadowy corners of compromise, where things aren't as rosy as one might think. You see, compromise, while often hailed as the cornerstone of successful relationships, can also be a breeding ground for resentment. Picture this. You're constantly giving ground, always meeting in the middle, until one day you realize that the middle is no longer a place you recognize. It's a place where your needs, your desires, and your identity have been chipped away, bit by bit. You've given so much of yourself away that resentment has stealthily crept in, leaving a bitter taste in your mouth. But resentment is just the tip of the iceberg. Beneath the surface, there's a deeper, more insidious consequence of compromise: the loss of self. Relationship experts often see this in their practice. They recount stories of individuals who, in the name of compromise, have let go of their passions, their dreams, their very essence, only to wake up one day and realize they no longer recognize the person staring back at them in the mirror. It's a frightening thought, isn't it? And then, there's the emotional disconnect. When you're always bending to the will of another, it can be easy to forget how it feels to stand tall, to stand for something. This disconnect from your emotions can create a chasm in your relationship, a chasm that can be difficult to bridge. The irony of it all is that compromise, which is meant to bring two people closer, can sometimes drive a wedge between them. It's a paradox that experts are all too familiar with. Now, this isn't a call to arms against compromise. It's a call to be mindful, to be aware of the potential pitfalls that can lurk in the shadows of compromise. It's a call to remember that your needs, your desires, your identity matter. So if compromise can be harmful, what's the alternative? Instead of compromising, experts suggest adopting a strategy of understanding and acceptance. Now you might be wondering, what does that look like in practice? Well, let's dive in. First, let's tackle understanding. When we truly strive to understand our partner's perspectives and feelings, we're fostering empathy. This isn't about accepting or agreeing with everything they say or do. It's about recognizing their viewpoint as valid, even when it differs from our own. Dr. John Gottman, a world-renowned relationship expert, suggests that understanding is one of the key pillars to a successful relationship. It helps in reducing conflicts and fostering a more harmonious coexistence. Moving on to acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean resigning oneself to a situation or person's flaws. Instead, it's about acknowledging that we all have our quirks and foibles, and loving someone means accepting them, warts and all. According to a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, partners who accept each other's imperfections tend to have longer and happier relationships. But how does this tie back to compromise? Well, when we understand and accept our partner, the need for compromise lessens. Instead of trying to mold our partner to fit our desires or expectations, we appreciate them for who they are. This creates a relationship based on mutual respect and love, rather than a constant tug-of-war of sacrifices. Of course, this isn't to say that we should never compromise, but when we shift our focus from compromise to understanding and acceptance, we're promoting healthier and more satisfying relationships. We're not losing parts of ourselves to maintain peace, but rather, we're growing together, enriching our relationships in the process. So the next time you find yourself on the brink of a compromise, pause. Try to understand your partner's perspective and accept them for who they are. It might not be easy, but it's a step towards a healthier relationship. Understanding and acceptance may be challenging, but they're worth the effort, and remember, it's a learning process. Now that we've shown a light on the dangerous compromise, we want to hear from you. Let's open up a dialogue about this. We want this platform to be a safe space where we can all share, learn, and grow. So, we're encouraging you to share your own experiences with compromise in relationships in the comment section below. Your stories matter. Your experiences carry weight. Whether it's a tale of triumph or a story of struggle, your voice can make a difference. Remember, there's power in vulnerability. Opening up about your experiences can not only help you process your emotions, but also provide valuable insights to others who may be going through similar situations. Your stories have the potential to resonate with others, and possibly even provide them with the guidance they need to navigate their own relationship challenges. But let's make one thing clear. This isn't about pointing fingers or assigning blame. It's about understanding, accepting, and growing. It's about shedding light on the gray areas of relationships that we often overlook. And while we're on the topic, let's not forget that compromise isn't inherently bad. It's the dangerous compromise, the one that comes at the cost of your happiness and well-being, that we need to be wary of. So, let's start this conversation. Share your experiences, your thoughts, your insights. Let's learn from each other. Your stories could help others navigate their own relationship challenges. So, share away, and remember, the goal isn't to compromise, but to understand and accept.